Yo, 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 it's your boy Blaze McCoy live here on the Blaze Radio Network right here on YouTube. We got another episode of WrestleSense for you guys. We got the boys in the back already with a special guest. You guys are going to love it. We've been trying to evolve the channel and do some different things. Just bring you something a little different in a podcast. So if you're in the live chat, please make sure you hit that thumbs up. Share it out to all your friends on social media. We're just going to sit back, relax. We're going to chill. You know how we do. Strap it in, strap it on, strap it up, strap it down, whatever floats your boat. Whatever makes you happy, people. We got all the corniness, all the wild and wackiness that I bring you, the knowledge that the boys bring you from the former Real Deal podcast here in the WrestleSense podcast. Man, previously on WrestleSense podcast. Oh, boy, we had picks upon picks upon picks. We did our little pick a winner, big picker thing, and it was kind of fun. Going to be interesting to reveal those. We went over the first 10 WrestleManias in our road to WrestleMania each week as we get closer. And we did talk a lot about some of the big news in wrestling. Like, there ain't really much news in wrestling right now, right? It's the best time ever to be a wrestling fan, and we want to thank some of our fans here on the channel that we've built over the 4.5 years here on YouTube. And of course, Wally's in the building. Good to see you, Wally. Welcome in, saying hi to everybody. Thank you, Wally. PFW's in the house. Good to see you, Tito. Bogus Gaming is in the building. I don't know, some idiot named Easy E. Can we ban that guy from the chat or something to get him out of here? Who lets those losers in here? Demon Joker's in the house. Good to see you. We got Lady Devil in the building as well. Welcome in. Welcome in. And E-Dub, my friend, good to see you. All of our friends from Canada, from the UK, from down under, all over the planet. We appreciate you all here on the channel. Crushing Kelly Black, welcome in. What's so funny about that? Atticus Black, there you are, strolling in together, the married couple. How about it? Mark Caliber, the stat man, my boy from Canada up there hanging in. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome in. So we did a spotlight wrestler before, and we talked about Matt Cardona and some of those success he's had recently in a number of different federations. We're bringing a local guy on today that some of the boys know a little better than me. We're going to get into that to start out the show. Good to see everyone already dropping in. Make sure you share it out. As always, hit that thumbs up. Your boy Blaze McCoy. We're going to talk a little 2K22, the video game dropped the other day. Now, I always explain I'm not a gamer. I do only eFed stuff on all creations. And I know a lot of you creators in the live chat and a lot of you YouTubers in the live chat are hyped about getting the early release and then the game coming out. And it's pretty much the same damn game we've been playing for 3 years. So good luck with that. We'll talk about that later, too. We'll get into Revolution, what happened with Dynamite as well. In our final segment, it will be an AEW review. But we always like to review and see how everyone's doing here in the live chat, too. Brandon Ace is in the building. Great to see you. And we always like to check in to find out how this guy is doing. CJ Sensation.
What is up? I don't know if I mentioned it last week. I may have. I'm getting old and I can't remember, but I am cleared to go back in the ring. So IWC,
we did the right hand, left hand. Use whichever one you want to now because you got the good news. Yeah.
But IWC's 21st anniversary next Saturday, the 19th, I believe it is. So looking forward to that. Doing good, man, except for the swimming pool in my basement right now. But,
that's bad news, man. We had some appliance issues with Ray a couple weeks ago. It's almost like when me and Ray had our band, we called ourselves Monkey Wrench because there was always something throwing a monkey wrench into
Ain't
the problem.
That the truth, man.
That's what we deal with. That's what we deal with around here.
But I'm here and I'm ready to rock and roll and excited for the special guest we have on.
Going to be a fun episode. Big man Ray is not here with us this week, but we'll have him back. Too busy in the work schedule here tonight, but that's why we have a few of us. We'd like to get a bunch of different opinions, and we call it friendly debate. CJ, we all know each other, so if you're new to the channel, subscribe. This is just fun.
Nothing is ever personal. We have different opinions, so you're gonna have some arguments. But
and then you bring Easy E, and he fucks everything up. Jamar's in the building. Great to see you, my friend. Yeah, we'll be talking about 2K22 in a bit. And someone who can't wait to get his 22 because he didn't get it yet. What's up, Doc?
What's up?
His prize, though.
This is my major reward. We'll talk about that later.
He's got a major reward.
What's going on, guys? And how's everybody doing? And yes, fuck 2K. All right, I'm ready.
No, come on, man. We love it. Well, like I always say with the video games, as far as what I do, I'm not a gamer, but I make do with whatever the game gives you. It's the best you can do. Make do with the game. You try to make
what? I can't have anything to make do with.
They say you can't polish a turd, and with that, we got to bring in, of course, our turd on the show, Easy E. Welcome in. Welcome in. So no pizzas to be delivered tonight, there, Eric. You know,
no pizzas tonight. No doing anything else but swimming with CJ.
Swimming at CJ in his basement,
Yeah.
Or if it gets cold enough, we can play hockey. We can play some hockey down there. We got a goalie already down here, so we can play some hockey.
Bring your floaties.
Yeah, with that goalie, you know his 5 holes wide open, but we all know that.
So but we did do a Revolution watch along, and Easy E, unfortunately, he was the only one since you guys didn't show up. I had to deal with this peckerhead right here the whole time.
Hey, you were giving him a shout out. So
now it was fun. Me and Easy, along with a couple guys from the community, my friend CE from down in Houston, Miles Stanley Ward from down in Virginia, and we got together. We watched it together. It was we're gonna go into detail on that show later on.
We had a good time, Blaze. We had a good time. We enjoyed each other. I did some laundry.
Now, yeah, you were folding laundry and shit while we're on. So what we want to do with the channel down the road more, and we do expand, is do more watch-alongs, do more things on us. This whole clique right here will be in AEW April 20th in Pittsburgh at the Peterson Event Center.
I think
you are working?
I don't know yet. We got to figure that out. I don't know. We'll see.
So we got a handful of people going down. I'm going to do a stream on the way down. We'll talk about where our seats are and have a good time. I'll be live tweeting from the event again. This is my third, but there's been 4 shows because you guys went to Rampage last time, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I missed the Rampage. I didn't get to see the first Rampage. But with the first Dynamite we went to, that was like the 3rd ever AEW show, right? Second or third.
Yeah,
it was like one of the first ones.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It was a fun time, and like I said, me and my child, we loved both nights. It was a blast.
Well, we get to share it with you this time, Doc. You guys,
I know,
you were sitting somewhere else. So
yes, very excited. We're all going to sit together.
I got my 15 seconds of fame in the first time we were there when I got to do the little intro. And who gives a shit about me? Riley Wolf is in the building. Good to see you, Riley. He was along for some of the watch along as well. Thank you, Riley.
Oh, that's my man Riley. We had a good old time with me and Riley.
Riley's the one training up in New York with Amazing Red. We've touched into base with Riley a few times, see how he's training. His training is going and whatnot.
Which version of Conor McGregor? All right, let's go.
Yeah. Let the jokes start flying. So we're going to go ahead and start the first segment out before we make sense of it. We're going to start the segment out with a little intro video clip to introduce our special guest. Doc's going to ask him a couple questions, me and Easy and CJ will. If you guys in the live chat have questions for our guest, once you get to know him a little bit, we're going to introduce him to those who don't know him. He's someone you definitely want to know in the business right now, and you will not be disappointed. So after this, we'll have Doc fire away. We'll bring on our special guest, and we're going to get this shit popping. Hold on. We'll be right back to make some sense of it. Stay tuned. Now, this topic originally, we were going to, have like party interruption type, back and forth on a topic. But when we introduced the Spotlight Wrestler a couple weeks ago, it was kind of a hit, and we talked more about bringing some people on. So for the first time, we not only have a Spotlight Wrestler today, he is here on the podcast to answer some questions. Let's introduce you right now.
All right, here we go. People always say, Ron, you're the vice president and chief of operations of the biggest promotion causing all the commotion and making more waves in the ocean, Shane Taylor Promotions. So why do you want to get your hands dirty? Well, my answer is to that. Why not?
When you step inside the ring with the master, I guarantee you will find nothing else but disaster. I am Ron Hunt. I'm the leader of my own reason. Of everything that I did, this is my own treason. I tried to find myself inside the wrestling ring. You know who's number one, man, inside this thing. Shane Taylor from promotions is not my time. I guarantee you's now on my mind who was legendary. This is my legacy, I guarantee you. You never really beat me, man, when I defeat you. I've been the legend, I've been the greatest, I've been the motive. I have been the one for the reason, man, I have been explosive. Let me take you to the back, where you can never find me on that. If you really think you out wrestling me and match my wits, please. I don't give a number one lyricist. It's time for you to break it down. Whether the promo or the sound, whether the wrestling to the ground, you can never beat me. And I can let you know, man, for one reason. One reason is hunt season. You can never beat me, no matter how many times you try. I'm looking in your eyes, you can never beat me. You can never beat me. One reason. Hunt season. I look inside your eyes. You not ready, man, you ain't fly. Who is number one? We get it on. I'ma tell you for one reason. Hunt season. When you step inside the ring with the master, I guarantee you will find nothing else but disaster. I am Ron Hunt. I'm the leader of my own reason. Of everything that I did, this is my own treason. I tried to find myself inside the wrestling ring. You know who's number one, man, inside this thing. Shane Taylor Promotions is not my time.
See, my name is the Rev Ron Hunt, and I woke up and chose violence for your company.
You never really beat me, man, when I defeat you. I've been the legend, I've been the greatest, I've been the most.
Ladies and gentlemen, our first guest here in the WrestleSense podcast. Let's welcome the Rev Ron Hunt, everybody. There he is.
What's going on? What's going on? How you doing, fellas?
Welcome in.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on, my friend?
It's going to be a fun night, man. I heard a little bit of you guys' energy, man, so I'm excited to be on, and thanks for having me, Will.
Not a problem. Not a problem. We got some questions from Doc. I'm going to fire off first, and then some people in the chat already throwing some questions at you, too. So a lot of people don't know who the Rev Ron Hunt is, and he's a local guy around here. And we want to get the word out because this dude is doing big things in Western Pennsylvania right now and hopefully all over the damn world. So, Doc, have at it, my friend.
All right, first and foremost, Rev, what's going on, brother?
My man, Doc, how you doing, baby?
Oh, doing it. So, first question is, and I know everybody out there wants to know, how did you get started in the professional wrestling business?
Yeah, so got started, I think, about 1998, I believe. That was WCW Bash at the Beach there was, I think, really the focus that made me transition from, going from a fan to then wanting to say, how the heck do I get into this business? It's great business. But it wasn't until 2011, you fast forward about 12, 13 years or so, 2011 is when I actually made up my mind of getting involved and getting trained. So I went down to Florida. My training was offered a Wild Samoan. Some people call him Pops. If you know, I'm a little bit more intimately with the Wild Samoan Pro Wrestling Training Center down there. And from there, honestly, the rest is history. I think, that's where I really was able to kind of hone a lot of things. Really appreciate the art of wrestling even more. And I think I fell in love with it more once I began to understand everything that kind of surrounded itself. But yeah, man, it really started in 1998. I was watching an Eddie Guerrero match. Eddie Guerrero versus Chavo Guerrero. The loser had to cut their hair. And just to see how Eddie could just command the attention of the room. Even you're sitting in your own house, you're just glued. You know what I'm saying? Like he had that presence and energy, And so I think that's what really got it to me, that really took my fandom to the next level and said, all right, let's kind of, let's kick the gear a little bit. Unfortunately, I took the painful route in it, man. I couldn't be a referee, man. Why couldn't I just say, why couldn't I just be a referee? I'm like, dang, man. But
I wasn't always a ref.
hey, but listen, you still did the smart thing, though. Guess what? You'll probably be walking a little bit more straighter than I am in about the next 5 years, believe it or not. But yeah, that's how I got started, Doc, for me. 1998, I switched it over. 2011, started Got Trained, and the rest is history.
Well, I've caught a lot of your matches and seen some of your greatest accolades in the Pittsburgh independent scene. But I do got to ask this: top 3 opponents right now that you've faced in your career?
Ooh, in no order.
Right. No particular order.
Jim Miller.
Oh, I'm gonna take a drink. Go ahead. Woo.
Yeah. Oh goodness, that's the only credit he gets right now. But I would say in no particular order, definitely I have to put Lee Moriarty up there. That is by no shape of the imagination. He is up there, and I think when you talk to people that have been in this game, longer than me, that have traveled further than me, they will probably say the same thing. And I think, I've been very fortunate to see him from the ground up. And I want to say about three or so matches, 3 or 4 matches we have had, but each time it has gotten better. I've seen him on like the next tier every single time. It wasn't the same Lee Moriarty than before. And that honestly challenged me to step my game up as well. So, you have to gain something out of it for also it to be your favorite. So that was always a challenge of mine. I'm saying, can I keep up? Can I think outside of the box and try to keep this thing level? So Lee is definitely one of them. The juggernaut, John Roden, not many people probably outside of the Pennsylvania area know much of him. But I implore you that if you do your homework, go on YouTube and type it out. And him and we went to battle numerous times. A show that was supposed to be coming up this Saturday, we were supposed to go to battle for one of my first championship defenses. That's still going to happen eventually. But that's another one that has pushed me to the limits. He's called the juggernaut for a reason. He'll knock your lights out. When you get in the ring with him, you better be looking to go in there and take him completely out, or you're not going to be the same. And I would definitely say one of the third that not many people have heard that much about, and could be a little bit underrated on this radar. I would definitely say if we're looking more on the local end, is a guy named AJ Alexander. And I think the reason why I say that is because the kid is hungry. Yes. The kid is about jumping in the car and going. And I've seen him do 7-hour, 8-hour drives just to get an opportunity. And I'm not even talking about a match, but just a network. And so I always have respect for that. And he's one that, over the last couple of years, I've been able to take under my wing. I've had him jump in the car with me to different shows, different events, and pay-per-views and everything like that. And so I would say those are my top 3, man. But I want to add some more to it, man. I want to make like a MySpace fave 10 or something.
Yeah, please.
The young kids probably don't know about MySpace, man.
MySpace journal.
I just downloaded some songs on Napster. What are you talking about?
Oh man. Well, I got to step my game up from LimeWire then. I don't know.
All right.
Yeah, can we put the Mantis in that category? We need
the Mantis. The Mantis is retired, bro.
Jesus Christ. All right, I'm done. Sorry, part of my language. Jeez, wow, Mantis. I will say that, like I said, Rev, we've seen you in so many different feuds. We've seen you get not only physically hurt opponents, we've also seen you mentally get inside the minds of opponents. And one thing I have to bring up is definitely the feud with Chris Taylor.
Absolutely.
One of the best feuds I have ever called. Storytelling to the finest. And I mean, this didn't just go through RWA, folks. This started actually in PWX. But what I'm saying is it expanded over from PWX into RWA. It was just such a great premiere for him in RWA. And he never forgot making fun of me because the time I didn't even call him Ron Hunt. I called him Ronell Hunt. I even told his full name.
That's Ronell Hunt. He sounded a combination of like Burt Reynolds in a way.
Oh, so mad too. But I built that up, and Chris was like, "Whatever happens, And then when you came out to that ring, man, it's just that crowd, the hissing, the booing. I mean, you had them eating out of the palm of your hand.
Yeah.
So I do have this question, and this was actually, believe it or not, from a certain 7-year-old that that you're close with. He wants to know how you got into Shane Taylor Promotions.
Yeah, I would definitely say networking. And I think, it's one of those things to where, if you want something in this business, you might be told no a lot of times. But what I always try to tell people is don't take a no as a never, just take it as a not right now. And, that was the opportunity. There was an opportunity to, apply to see if I was going to be picked for a tryout. And, that tryout happened. It was a 2-day tryout. It was actually at their old training facility in Bristol, Pennsylvania, Connecticut.
Yeah.
But hot, no AC, no circulating air. It was just brutal. I think a couple people passed out. That's how hot it was. But long hours, man, 9-10 hours for 2 straight days. And it was one of those things where, told no the first time, was told with the spruce up on, like certain things, but maybe not this. Stay in front of them. I think with me, I was fortunate to get some connections, in regards of emails and everything. So I always stayed in front of them and just allowed them to see, okay, remember what you told me? This is how I'm making those changes, kind of showing yourself to be coachable. It's just like any other sport. You know, can you take the constructive criticism and approve and take exactly what they're saying and better yourself? Take it and use it. And you know, fast forward, it was one of those things to where, right place, just keep showing up. Whatever your job is to do, you do it to the best of your ability. But at the same time, I'm always pitching ideas.
Right?
Ideas.
I know that's fact.
Yeah. CJ, you can talk about it too. And I will tell you this. The last time I was there, let me see, what was that? 2017, 2018 was kind of like the third go around. This is when they moved to their new location in Baltimore, Maryland. So beautiful facility, two rings, a promo room, and an entrance that you can practice with, bells and whistles on it. And it was right at the end of the seminar. And Joey Mercury was actually there this time. He's one of the producers.
Nice.
And I never forget. It was like the last day, and I'm going back and forth with myself. I'm like, do I just leave and keep doing what I'm doing, or what do I go about this? And so everyone's like leaving on thank you, shaking hands. And I'm like, I got to do something more than this, or I'm just gonna, I already had their attention because they seen how I was making the improvements. I was blessed, right? I was blessed shortly after that to have a trial match, but I said, we got to keep this thing going. I think now they respect me more on a first name basis, and I could just call them on a first name. So I knocked on the door and just like walked into one of the offices. It was Joey Mercury, Delirious, Todd Sinclair, and someone else. And I said, hey, not knocking. I just walked in. I didn't wait to hear, hey, come on in. I just knocked and walked in. I said, hey, sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to run something by you. And Joey stands up and he's like, well, you say sorry to interrupt, but here you are interrupting. If this was at another 3-letter company, they would have told you to get the F out of here and don't come back. And I'm like, all right, Dick. And then so he's like, but now that you're here, you got 30 to 45 seconds. Go ahead and say what you're going to say. And so I think then, I pitched him a certain idea that was relatively around, what I'm doing now, but it was something along another line and, just networking. I think before that, I was in contact with Shane even before that, just kind of picking his brain and everything like that. So once, I kind of put that out there, I went to Shane like a whole nother idea and kind of gauge where his mindset is. And he told me kind of where his mindset was. And honestly, it was just a combination of us, seeing each other eye to eye and saying, let's try to do something with this. And then we ran with it, man. So I want to say that was about early 2019 when we decided to fully put together Shane Taylor Promotions. Just him and I is what spearheaded it. But it wasn't until about September 2019 when, I want to say about September 2019 is when the plug was actually pulled and they said, all right, we're going to test this out on TV and see how it goes. And they liked it. So I was history, like, and so, if I could just tell, and this is what I try to tell some of the students at Rise Wrestling that train out of the Stronghold Training Center, and even just others that are able to pick my brain, I tell them the same thing. I'm like, just keep putting yourself out there, show up. And if you need to do a certain job, do it to the best of your ability. Bust your hump to the best. If your job is to tighten the aprons, do it to the best of your ability. If your job is to make sure the turnbuckles are nice and tight and even, do it to the best of your ability. Don't expect a handout. People will acknowledge that from your hard work, but don't expect to say, do you see me tightening this? No, just do it.
Exactly.
Just
do it when no one's looking.
Do it when no one. And CJ, you could probably talk about this. Like, how many times do you see like people don't do something, but then they see a certain particular someone with the company.
Yeah, exactly.
Or hey, I'll set these chairs, but then they're gone by the end of the show. I'm like, so did you really come, or did you think if you bust your hump for 5 minutes at the beginning, maybe they'll throw you a bone? You know what I'm saying?
You and I both could talk about all the things we had to do setting up rings. I crawled under the ring at Eastland Mall for PWX and termites.
Yeah.
You got to pay your dues. You can't expect things like you said. You got to make your opportunities.
Hey, Rev,
you got to do it.
Rev, you brought up the Wild Samoan training school, and you went down to Florida, and a good buddy of ours did his training with the Wild Samoans in Allentown. Yep. Who was in your class, and what can you tell us about that class? And my buddy, I was texting him that you were on, and he said he hopes that your office work is doing a good job lately. So tell us what's going on, man.
Yeah. So we had guys like Nick Nero down there. Actually, one of the guys that's at That's at RWA right now. We had another guy. I think there was another guy named Chad Johnson. He was down there, and it wasn't the Ocho Cinco.
You'll get the corny jokes around here.
I was also just going to keep it like that. But I was like, yeah. But yeah, we had guys like Nick Nero down there. I think a couple of times we had one of the other guys, Sam, that came down there. One of the small guys. He's actually with WXWC4 right now with Samu down in Allentown. And I think along this, I think those are a couple of the standouts that we had down there. We did have some that was trickling over from C4 all the way down. Then some they're even doing like overseas type stuff right now. But it's one of those things to where not everybody made it through. And you get fortunate about that. And I think, over like the last 10 years or so, there have been, for the right reasons, but there can be some pros and cons to it. A little bit of softening when it comes to how training facilities are ran. Some of them aren't as tough as they were. I think, and CJ can tell you. You talk to anyone that's been around even a little bit longer than me. It's like their job was to first make you quit. And if you didn't quit, see if you came back. And a lot of times, you weren't even practicing your first move until maybe like 2 months.
A couple months in, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. And it's just, you earned your way. What we say,
you weren't running the ropes. You weren't doing nothing.
You weren't touching anything. You were getting your ass beat. You're doing a bunch of squats. You're doing a bunch of duck walks. You're running around the facility everywhere but inside the facility
until you throw up.
Until you throw up. I remember we had a drill called the blackout drill. Which there's a reason why it's called the blackout drill. But when you were honored enough to first step into the ring and run the ropes, you're like, yes, I'm here. No, we had drills to where you would have to just run it. You would just run and run and run until you feel like you're going to black out. And their whole thing is, until you puke or until you black out, you'll more than likely keep going. And they're like, if you black out, you're not dead. You're just going to pass out. So guess what? You made it. That was the mindset. But I think through that, and like I said, I was very fortunate there. We don't want to get any rumors out there. There was no hazing or nothing like that.
No.
There was none of that. But it was teaching you.
Give us a scoop.
Yeah, it was teaching you to respect the business, and it wasn't a walk apart. Yeah, absolutely. Tough love. And so that's what I try to tell people now. I think when you gain that respect, and I think that is really what helped me not only mold me to the wrestler I am today, but the man that I am today. It was that tough love because it showed me respect. It told me to never take this business for granted. Meanwhile, you have some guys nowadays that they want handouts or they're mad when they get $20. Yep. I'm like, dude, the first year I was just jumping in the car, setting up rings at away shows. And just picking the brain of vets.
I think you'll agree with me on this. Wrestling doesn't owe me anything. I owe everything to wrestling, and absolutely. I think you're on the same page with that.
Absolutely.
There's one from the chat there, Rev. You want to know of the championships you've had, which one was your favorite, or which one do you hold near and dear to you the most?
Well, it's PWX.
Oh man, I wish I would have wrestled Tessa Blanchard when she was there. It's the men's title now. I don't know.
But I would probably say, and right now it's a little bit in the, a little bit in the remodeling phase right now. But definitely Fight Underground. It's a company that's up and coming, doing some remodeling. It started right in the middle of the pandemic.
Cool.
And I think then because. It was something that was based off of the love and the grit of the business. We started there when there were no fans. So, you had guys traveling hundreds of thousands of miles away to come in and prove themselves. And they had no other choice but to allow their hunger to be shown because there was no fans to appease to. So I think to be a part of history and be their first ever champion and that forever to be in the history books is a complete honor to me. To the company, to those that trusted me with the opportunity, even allow me to have the opportunity to be in a championship match. And I went against one of a good friend of mine, Beastman, who is very, very, very well versed. That was a big honor for me. So I would say that's my most important one so far. And then, everything kind of trickles from there, tag teams and other heavyweights, but definitely the Fight Underground championship.
So, have you ever been in a Rumble style match?
Oh, absolutely. God,
give us a little story about that. Tell us a little something about it.
I think CJ can tell you this too. I think a lot of the young bucks, when you get into, you're thrown into a bunch of rumbles.
Yes, absolutely.
It's like your proving ground.
Yeah. To see what kind of ass whooping you could take.
Yeah, it's like, let's see if you could take this chop fest. But yeah, man, hey, that's an experience by itself. I definitely, concur anyone to do it. I think there's a learning experience in every single match style, believe it or not, including the Royal Rumble. Just in regards of, ring placement, awareness of where you are, some of the natural do's and don'ts that will be able to grow on you as you
with
get
time.
more well versed. Yeah, exactly. So I would say two of the coolest was being a part of a couple of years ago. I believe the one of the world record battle royals. I forgot how many people we had in there. It would have been the world record, but one person started a little bit higher above the ring and wasn't physically in the ring. So they didn't count.
What was that?
Elaborate.
From the side.
That wasn't
here's how big it was. They had 3 rings. They had like 3 rings back to back. It was 1, 2, 3. And then they had like
Craig.
What?
What'd you say?
Your backyard, Craig?
No, it wasn't in my backyard.
Oh God, no, and it wasn't superhuman either. But I think that was another one. I beat up a midget.
There you go.
Nice.
I'm sorry, buddy. As soon as the bell rung, I just went right after him. So
you call him Buddy the whole time?
Yeah, I was like, here you go. But why his name was really Buddy? His claim to fame after that, his most well claim to fame was that he was one of the pancakes during the New Day's WrestleMania entrance.
That dude. Okay.
Hey, whatever gets you over. I mean,
hey, listen. I'd be
a pancake.
I beat up a New Day pancake. You can't tell me anything.
True.
I can retire.
Positivity.
Yeah, but I think
your profile.
Yeah, that was one of the funnest moments, and then also there was another battle royal where I was able to toss out the Brooklyn Brawlers. So I will gladly take that accolade as well. I beat up a New Day pancake and I tossed out the Brooklyn Brawlers. Career's done.
How many people can say that, man? Right?
Yeah, right.
That's on the resume. So McBride in the chat wants to know who your favorite commentator is.
Oh man,
my man Doc. What do you mean?
What? Really?
Are you kidding me?
I pump him up all the time. He's like, "Stop it!
Listen. Tell Doc to tell you off the show. You guys have to pay an extra subscription to it. Something to tell you our Disney experience.
Oh,
that'll be an extra partying
Disney
with
3,
Doc
baby. That's all I'm gonna say. Disney 3. It was an experience that you would never ever know, and Daisy Duck will never be the same.
Someone says, hey, the Rev Ron Hunt beat up a pancake.
That's my man Todd Jackson right there.
Yeah, welcome in, Mr. Jackson. Welcome, Monstar. Welcome, everybody. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are interviewing the Rev Ron Hunt. We got a lot of questions. I do have his Twitter handle in the description, as well as indywrestling.us, where you'll see a lot of this
hey, Blaze,
on YouTube as well. Go ahead.
Wally has sent like 5 questions. So
I know, but his questions are... I've known Wally for longer. Wally's questions are dumb as shit, man. I'll be honest with you. I love you, Wally.
So give him this last one. Give him this last one. I think he'll
really. Tallest wrestler. This is the most normal question Wally's given us.
This is the most normal.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you all of them if you want them. Do you know
he could rattle through those real quick, but like,
okay.
Give this one now.
Here, did you get ring burns from training?
Absolutely.
Yes. Absolutely.
You know what, Rev? I got you on the one. Who's the tallest wrestler he's ever faced? Chris Taylor.
Are you going to AEW or Impact?
I plead the fifth, but if they want to do business and they know how to contact us, here, we've been in contact with a couple of higher ups. So
there we go. That's what we like to hear. Where are you wrestling at these days? And you meet famous wrestlers in the business. Have you meet?
All
love you, Wally.
All over the place. I wrestle anywhere that they pay me.
So while he answers that now, my one question was, and it's the host with the not so most question always is where can the fans out there, the indie wrestling fans all over the world, where can they find the Rev Ron Hunt on social media and in the ring right now?
Absolutely. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and yes, of course, TikTok. Everything is at the Rev Ron Hunt. You can find all the scheduling there, especially on Twitter's when I post a lot of the scheduling and everything like that too. So, and yes, all of my TikToks are not wrestling related. I'm about to hit over 100,000.
I can attest to
Damn. I'm trying to stay away from
a lot of it's news.
I get a little bit of mixture of everything. So,
So what about active wrestling right now? Where can we find you?
Yeah, so you can find me. I do some shows here and there with KSWA, right here in the Pittsburgh area. 2PW, Prospect Pro Wrestling, quote unquote, where I was the very first match and win in the company's history. Prospect Pro Wrestling have a very big show coming up next Saturday, so you guys want to make sure that you are there. You can also find me at Eclipse Pro Wrestling. You can go to eclipsewrestling.com. RWA, Renegade Wrestling Alliance, and then that's going to be all of the local Pittsburgh companies, and then you can find me at some other ones, maybe in a state near you. Just follow me on all social media, and you'll see where I'm at.
So that's actually leads into another question from the chat, if I can find it. What's on your indie show bucket list, if you have one? This is from my boy Riley Wolf up there and training
He's
with
actually training with Amazing Red.
All right. In the House of Glory up there. He's been he's the one that we're talking about that's taking the ring together, putting it together, doing every little wacky thing he can.
I'll tell you this. So you know we'll put it here and I'll let you work your magic. Shane Taylor Promotions wants to come to HOG, bro.
There you go.
That's the main goal. We got a lot of bucket lists to cross off, and I don't think a bigger platform can happen than right there. So you let Amazing Red know to hit us up.
What about the biggest show at WrestleCon, Pancakes and Pile Drivers? I think that would be a top 10 list.
I got it. If that's the case, I have to wrestle Buddy.
Right.
And I want it in the main event as he's dressed as a pancake.
I'm calling this. Some way or another, I'm calling that match. I don't care.
You got any more for him, Doc?
Well, no, you know what? I was going to let the fans handle it from here, man. They've been asking some great questions, and like I said, me and Rev go way back. We've seen so much together. What I will say is this, Rev. Now, like this weekend, you had your hands full, and I have to be unbiased here with the Juggernaut John Roden and Eclipse Wrestling. So when you were going into that match, I know you can't give too much of your game plan in. But John Roden's always known to give you some of the hardest times I've ever called in a match.
Yeah.
So
that's an understatement.
I will say, he's punched you from the front, from the side, from everywhere. From the side.
God,
so where I'm going at with this is this.
Have you ever gotten it from the side?
If the fight would have happened, we plead the fifth on that, both of us. But what I'm going to say is we plead the fifth. I'm going to say it's like this. Disney. That's all I'm going to say. Disney. No, look, we'll get no Disney story until later. But Rev, let me just ask you this. What was your thoughts going into that match? Unfortunately, I know it's canceled, but what was your thoughts going into that match?
Honestly, my thoughts going into that match is come at the best of my ability. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's one of the things that CJ's going to crack about it later by a statement. But, my thing is you got to go into a top tier. And I think, John is one of those type of people that he's dangerous as it is naturally, but yet when he's hungry. I think now with him trying to finish out this year in a bang, and then with an extra additional edge of my title being on the line. Our previous match was at Prospect Pro Wrestling where for the third time when I thought it couldn't get any harder and it couldn't get any worse, it did. So I feel the track record is the more we keep having matches, the
harder he hits.
Yeah, the harder he hits.
Yeah.
So then I got to hit harder. So each time I'm like, a part of me is going to die. And that's what I feel like has been happening these probably last 3 to 4 matches. So every match has been different. I feel like I'm prepared. I learned some things on the go because you just like I think I'm prepared, he feels he's prepared. So I might be thinking one way, he's thinking another. He catches me off. Now I have to adjust in the ring on the fly. Mm-hmm. So that's the type of thing. But when you're a wrestler, you have to live for that. I don't want to feel like it's an easy walk in the park. I want to be a fighting champion. So one of the things I just prepare for is expect the unexpected. And when you prepare for everything under the sun, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
It ain't gonna happen.
So you said, speaking of records, I just gotta piggyback off of that. Speaking of records, what is the record between you and Roden right now? If I remember.
So if Marshall Gambino didn't get his get his garden gnome self together, I believe it'll actually be. Technically, hold up. Let me backtrack to this now.
Okay.
Technically, it should be 2 and 2.
Avoiding this question. You were avoiding this question.
No. Let me explain this. It should be 2 and 2. However, someone got involved in the third time, and then Marshall Gambino. I physically won it. CJ can tell you. Doc can tell you. The bell rung. I won the match the last time. Marshall comes out and he restarts it Teddy Long style because he's an idiot.
He is the most angriest boss we have. So
he is. I'm gonna kick him in the nuts one day.
Hey, so I'm famous for bad jokes, dad jokes, corny jokes, and all that good stuff. So can I say that the Rev is preaching? Now we know why they call him the Rev. You know, can I get a bad one in here?
Wow.
I give myself the button though. I would get one of these.
Went without saying.
So here, let's address the elephant in the room here. If I want to hear a story, I'm looking in the private chat, and there's apparently something between these two on the bottom that have happened in the previous that we need to know about here. This is a show, man.
I didn't even realize it.
You two have met each other before, apparently.
I plead the fifth.
Actually,
was it easy heckling a wrestler? I can't believe it. No.
Me being at an indie show, running my mouth as usual, being Easy E.
Please tell me you slapped the McShit out of him. Please.
No. Just a verbal altercation back and forth, and I called him out in both. And the funny part is, it's one of them is in his package video that he showed.
Yeah,
yelling at me, and then the other one was at Rise. We got into it a little bit back and forth, but nothing too more entertainment than not.
It wasn't that crazy. That clearly I'm still on the show, and I didn't realize the space and log out. All right, so you still got yourself a good one.
Yeah, I'm thankful. Trust me, I was afraid to bring that up if it was really bad news. But, I'm willing to take the risk, man. We need the ratings.
We could probably set it up where, Eazy-E and Rev could be in a ring together. I mean, I wouldn't mind calling that one. I would love to call that one.
On 2K22 also, and we can have a virtual game of those two fighting.
Yeah.
Right.
What's that like? What's that game like?
Which reminds me, we'll be talking about the game in a little bit, and I will be live after this with Leaning Towards Death Wrestling as well, so stay tuned. Go ahead, E. Get it off your chest.
I'll tell this story. I was at an indie promotion during WrestleMania, and Rick Swan was in the match, and I was calling him fake Kofi Kingston, and I was getting on him really bad, right? And so at the end of the match, he's going back and forth with me. At the end of the match, he starts flipping chairs in front of me. And my girlfriend is flipping out like this dude is going to kill me, right? And I made his match. I literally made his match. He's flipping chairs, and he finally gets up to me. He looks at me, and he goes, "Thank you for making my match." He gives me the biggest hug in the world. She was so mad that he was going to, beat me up. And I was like,
she's like, "I told you to shut up now. Look at it."
So I'm sure we'll get more questions possibly from the chat, but more than welcome to hang out with us the rest of the show. We're going to go over some old WrestleMania stuff and review Revolution, Rev, so you're more than welcome to hang out.
My man, you got my word. I'm hanging in with you guys.
Nice. This is your normal, average, everyday podcast. We're going to chill with the Rev. We'll be right back after this, where you can find out a little bit more about being a member here on the Blaze Radio Network here on YouTube. Stay tuned.
This is a recording.
Please hang up and try your call again. If you need help, hang up and then dial your operator.
All right, big shout out to all the members to the channel. I appreciate y'all. Now, last week we talked a little bit about the road to WrestleMania. We went over just real quick over WrestleMania 1 to 10. In our second segment here, our 2 cents, we're just going to shoot the shit a little bit about WrestleManias 11 through 20. Stay tuned. So this, as a work in progress, we've been trying a bunch of different things throughout these podcasts, and we did the best tag teams in history of pro wrestling. We did the most popular stables. We try to mix it up, do some fun stuff. But let's go back to WrestleMania 11 in Hartford. This is 1995. Now, just try to find the main event first of all.
Yeah,
which I'm guessing is it Piper and Brett?
Had to be.
No, it was Shawn Michaels versus Diesel, because remember Shawn Michaels was supposed to bring out Pamela Anderson. Instead, she walked out. She walked out with Jenny McCarthy.
Yeah.
And what was great about it was Diesel walked out and just did this like real shitty stare, turned around and did and here come Pamela Anderson walking right. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We talked about that with the celebrities in the past there. Now WrestleMania 12 in Anaheim, 1996. There's Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart, of course.
Why am I drawing a blank on this?
This was a great one.
This was the backlot brawl with Piper and Goldust.
Right.
Yep.
Do you know what's awesome is this was right before Owen Hart and Steve Austin had the whole neck break incident. And what's funny is my best friend John McBride, who actually watches us here today. In a live chat. He's just in a live chat. Yeah, I see this question. I love him to death.
Watch out, Owen's falling.
What was that? I'm sorry.
Owen's falling. Watch.
Oh, come on.
Okay, first of all, that was really bad taste and very disrespectful. But I was going to say that I remember watching the 6-man tag match with McBride, and McBride's favorite wrestler was Owen Hart. You dick.
I see Ahmed Johnson on there too. I always like to watch his old interviews.
So just a call back from this. Yeah, someone please put me in the ring with Easy. I prefer a steel cage match. Since WrestleMania is coming up, I prefer it to be in Dallas.
Hey Rev, let Bodie have your light work. Put him in the ring. He's giving Rev such a hard time.
Bodie can go.
Bodie can go.
Someday Bo will be holding some gold over his head, no doubt. All right, let's keep it rolling here. We go to WrestleMania 13. These are terrible graphics, by the way. This is the only way I could find something that we could talk about.
This looks like SmackDown Shut Your Mouth graphics.
Rosemont, Chicago. Yeah, it does. Like almost impossible to even read it, But just
I'm sweating like trying to
go back. Is that Sid and Undertaker? There's rumors Sid's going to be in the Hall of Fame this year.
Yeah. It's not a rumor. It's been announced.
They announced it? They did announce it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I haven't seen any announcant yet, but I wouldn't doubt. That'd be pretty cool. That's pretty good.
Hey, those are guys next to the Headbangers.
Where are we at? Next to the Headbangers. Yeah, I'm trying to...
It's Vader and Mankind.
No, the other way.
No. All right. He's at the bottom.
At the bottom. The bottom right?
Yeah, Phil,
Doug Furnace and Phil
LaFawn.
Phil LaFawn.
Yeah,
Doug Furnace.
How bad is it? We're all
like squinting.
I tried to find the worst possible picks that I could to make this.
I got
Jimmy Del Rey.
It's like borderline.
Well, here's a little different.
Okay, here we go.
We can see a little better. This one.
Yeah, there we go.
Old school style here.
Oh, God, I got Black Diamond Flyer. All right, I'm done.
This one in 14. This is 14 in Boston. Tyson. So how many damn games was he in?
I'm laughing about the Black Diamond thing. I got sidetracked. Me and Rev got sidetracked.
Yeah, I came with that one from the side. All right.
Vader's the one that got announced. Thank you, C.
Yeah, Vader did get announced.
Oh yeah,
Vader got announced. Not Sid.
That's right.
Sid.
All right. Let's just get this ridiculous segment over with so we can keep.
Yeah.
So we see the back of 15 here. 15.
The Raging Climax, not to be
Philadelphia.
confused with
This is Rock.
Climax.
Hey, this is Mania. That's my first Mania.
I want to see
the
that
Raging Climax.
So they were sitting around in
It sounds like a shoot about CJ.
And they're saying, let's think of some real good names for Mania. How about Raging Climax? And someone said yes.
Wait, was this legit? Like,
yeah, they call it the Raging Climax.
Okay. Now let's pause for a second, guys. Let's pause, right? Just for a quick second.
Yeah.
You guys are asking, is this legit? Do we not recall Great Balls of Fire?
Yes.
Great Balls of Fire.
So,
very good
I
point.
don't remember Raging Climax.
Raging Climax. Well, if it was a good Raging Climax, you should remember it.
Yeah, I paid $200 for a seat in the upper deck. Me and Patrick went, and just seeing the Big Boss Man being hung from the cage was amazing. Like,
this one's all about the ladder match to me. Christian and Edge, Dudley's and Hardy's.
That was one of the best matches I ever saw.
Yeah, that's what this Mania is all about to me. Is that ladder.
Yeah.
And if you remember correctly, this is what the Nintendo 64 game was based on. Before No Mercy, there was this one. It was great. Just saying.
Oh, was there? Okay.
Dear 2K, take notes. They actually get their games out on time.
2001 WrestleMania 17.
Oh!
Houston, now you definitely can't read this shit.
Oh my god.
I think I purposely made it bad just so you can't
Seriously,
read it.
feel like I have my wife's eyesight. I'm sorry.
Sure, I don't recall, but I'm sure Benoit and Angle had to be a banger of a match.
Yeah.
Oh, it was awesome.
Listen. I love Chris Benoit. He has always had killer matches.
Oh, Bailey!
Killed his dog. He shot his dog.
You know what happened?
It's just
found out that Rev was gonna. The dog found out Rev was gonna kick E's ass, and
I
the dog got the hog.
agree with you, man. I think it's a shame that it's kind of like taboo to talk about Benoit and stuff. It's been long enough. Man. He was one of the best ever, man.
My personal feeling on the whole situation is, as a wrestler, he's got to be one of the best. I mean, he's got to be on
Pound
that
for
list.
pound, definitely.
Now, personal, that's a whole different story. But this is a wrestling podcast, so we'll leave it at that.
Exactly, and that's.
Oh man, you killed my dad joke, CJ. I was going to cut out these things. I'm not going to listen. I'm not going to get on cancel culture. I'm not. I'm
no, me neither. Right?
No.
Everybody's getting woke.
18 in Toronto.
That was Rock Hogan, wasn't it? Or that was.
Well, there's Stone Cold.
Oh man, Maven.
Hall.
Cassie, what are you talking about? I'm sorry.
Maven.
Where was that quick? Oh,
I liked Maven.
Yeah.
Hey, Maven was a decent worker.
He's still fighting. So for some reason, I think he's still fighting something.
Just came back to an indie fed last year.
Yeah, I thought I saw him on a video somewhere, and I was like, hey, that's freaking Maven.
Somebody found me his booking information. Rev versus Maven. Maven, if you watch this, Rev me versus you, brother.
2003 in Seattle. Hogan versus
Dare to Dream.
Vince.
Vince.
You can at least see that one a little better.
Yeah,
blame it on me. Yeah, I'm an asshole. I'm terrible.
You think Maven can work? Like, seriously.
Absolutely.
Maven was not bad at all. Yeah, he can.
Some things might have been a little stiff, but in regards of actually going, he could go.
Are you saying just because of his age, easy? We're going to talk about a 62-year-old man later on.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying he was out for how long? Like, we heard
that's a different story.
I promise you, it's like riding a bike.
Well,
you better hope so.
From the side.
His was
riding from the side. You see, cut on quick. Now let's get a real bad graphic to end here.
God.
Good God.
Madison Square Garden. Really
That'd
bad.
be no, that wasn't Brun Goldberg.
Brock. Yeah, Brock Goldberg.
Yeah, that was Brock and Goldberg, and they were both leaving. And oh my God, the crowd was so hot because everybody knew already.
On the Shooting Star, wasn't it?
No, he killed himself a Shooting Star against.
No,
Angle.
that was him and Angle.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. Yeah.
You saw that came out in the news this week, where he said that he tried to get Angle to cut and pin him because he didn't know where he was at, and Angle wouldn't do it. Angle literally said, "Keep going, keep going."
Well,
I said, "Hell no, brother, we got 5 more minutes."
You're right.
Oh, Zach Gowen.
Zach Gowen.
That's who you're talking about, Zach Gowen.
He's still a busy guy. It may not always have to do with wrestling, but he's doing a lot of big things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff in the news lately. Brock's done a lot of interviews lately, telling people about his past. This new face Brock has been.
I love it. I want
him to come down on a tractor in Mania or some shit.
If he did come down on a John Deere, I'd pop.
Wouldn't that be hilarious if he's on a damn tractor?
So do we get him to come out on a tractor with a cowboy hat to save the horse, ride a cowboy?
There's nobody that can rock a cowboy hat and play guitar to the ring like this man right here. This man right here had a great entrance. We had to stop a certain commentator because she kept singing. We're just gonna keep it that one.
All right, we got our last segment here.
Any rats in that basement, CJ? Speaking of that, never mind.
There probably is.
Oh, wait, I can't put what I wanted, but yet you bring that up? Okay.
We bounce around. We give you WWE news, AEW news. We talked a lot about ROH's, the bye last week, and as well as the Hall of Fame the previous week. Right now, we're going to dip into AEW for the rest of the show, talk about what happened on Revolution, as well as what went down on Dynamite in our final segment, The Sixth Sense. Stay tuned.
Yeah, they can move to this. Your soul, man, they can move to this. It's brand new. Open your eyes and realize it's the new guys. Yo,
Oh, my man Soma for your donut. I didn't ask you, Ron, if your song on your video is copywritten or not. Is that your theme song?
That's 100% my theme song. Shout out to Montezzi. Here's a quick fact on that. Montezzi actually did the original Shane Taylor Ring of Honor song. He is also the one that's behind the Sammy Guevara song with AEW right now. So his theme is from that guy right there.
Okay.
Montezzi's awesome.
Hopefully, more power to him going down the road. So we're going to talk a little bit about the video game that came out. Like here on the channel, we do EFED, AI versus AI wrestling with created characters, as well as real characters too. And we've been waiting a couple years for this. So just a couple points for some of those creators out there in the live chat. I know there's a lot of you guys. And a reminder, I will be going live after. Oh my God.
No, you didn't see what happened in the private chat.
I don't know if I want to.
No, it's not bad.
Oh, you're well. That's shocking. That's shocking information. That's real shocking.
Holy shit! That's like National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation
so
shit
we can't
right
leave
there.
our viewers in the dark. Apparently, your dog, Eazy-E's dog, bit an electric cord and got shocked.
Jeez, I'm just
That's
glad
not
the
a
dog's
word.
okay. I really am.
As long as it wasn't the shocker.
Oh my God. So just a couple of things I wanted to point out as far as Creation Suite goes on the game. We talked about it on the Revolution watch along too. There are a lot of gaming changes to the game, but I don't play the game. That's weird. I'm not a gamer. I'm just a creator and a commentator. But at the same time, they've changed some of the creation stuff, some of the controls. They've taken promos out of universe mode. There's not a lot of crashes or glitches, but some, and there's a patch that I believe Brandon Thriller Championship Wrestling just dropped in the chat that there is a patch that just came out for the game. Download it now. Here we go. Update. Yep. Update already out there. Yep. But the graphics are a little better. The entrances, the camera angles. There's a new backstage area. The online servers have been up or down, but one of the big news too is cross-platform creations. So I can grab someone who made something on PC or Xbox and in between. So in between PC, Xbox, and PlayStation to play the game is pretty damn cool as well. So that's just a real quick update on the video game. I've been putting a ridiculous amount of hours in creations there. We're going to have some fun on the channel like we have with leaning towards death wrestling for the past 4 years. And we're going to keep with all you guys in the chat, all your YouTube channels. Many other have your own shows as well, where we highlight the created characters, what I like to call the digital wrestling syndicate here on YouTube. And we have a blast, man. I met people all over the world, from Canada to UK, New Zealand and such. And you guys are amazing supporting the channel. I really appreciate you guys. And we're going to keep doing new things here on the channel because of stuff like membership, because of bringing people on like the Rev here and spreading a good word about how much fun we have on the channel, trying to do something unique here and a little different. So let's talk about Revolution. We had our big picker, as I like to call it. And we've had, I was the champ 1 week. Ray was the champ 1 week. Doc and Eazy-E, the most hated tag team. Can they coexist? We're a champ 1 week. This week was a little weird because we guessed all the matches except for the House of Black buy-in match. So out of 11, most of us got 6. So Blaze, Doc, Ray, and CJ all tied at 6.
They all picked the same thing.
So, Easy, you're the one who picked everything else. You got 3 right. And then the guys who joined the podcast along with me and Eazy-E, my friend CE and Miles Stanley Ward, my initial friends, I guess, out there. CE from down in Texas and Miles Stanley Ward, my buddy down in Virginia. Those two, Miles got 6, so we all got 6. But CE, even including the other matches, he guessed 11 out of 12 right. So we'll give the title belt to someone in the community this week.
Nice.
My boy CE will be the new big picker champ as we go on. I didn't really want to do what most other podcasts do and do all the picks and stuff. We'll make a little something more innovative here and something just a little different. So March 6th, Sunday was Revolution. We were live on the channel doing a little watch along. Of course, as you know, here on YouTube, can't show the events, but we did audio and play-by-play. Our first match, everybody was wrong. We all picked Chris Statlander to win. And Layla Hirsch picked up the win, which sets up Layla and Thunder for the winner to face Britt again. Mm-hmm. So we'll talk about Britt here in a little bit, but it was Layla picking up the win pretty much to set up Thunder getting her second shot in her hometown of San Antonio. You guys following along on that? Because the San Antonio shot. I'm digging the Layla Hirsch, the heel turn. And what was really cool was cheering for her in Las Vegas at the Nerd Bar. Which is a fun place. It's at the end of Fremont Street. It's one of the if you're into pop culture and you're into everything.
Old Vegas, baby. Old Vegas.
It was so fun there, man. They have a life-size Jabba the Hutt. It's
Maybe
insane.
It was in Hannibal. Huh,
Yeah, what's
weird.
that?
Yeah, he
Brian-
wasn't Hannibal.
It's a
Brian
what,
LG.
the TV
Yeah.
show.
But it's a
You're
great
wrong.
idea. And what was really cool is, this. What can I say about this place? It also had Sabu was there. Sabu set up a
Lonely
table.
Sabu.
Lonely set. He looked a little lonely, but he did have some people actually come up
Yeah.
and some people are like, "Oh my God, it's Sabu! Can you believe this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's Sabu. Go meet him, man. He's a good guy." And Fight Capital, they're the ones that actually set up the thing in Vegas. It was pretty awesome to see, Fight Capital set this up at the Nerd Bar, and there was a contest where you had pick sheets where you circled the winner, you circled how they won, who was going to take the pin if it was a tag match. These pick-up sheets are awesome. So
I'm gonna do something for one of my members of the channel real quick. She pays
That's
her.
what I'm laughing at.
Yeah, me too.
Oh,
New
Jesus.
thing.
There you go, nipple.
Oh
There's
no!
your
way.
nudity.
So, anyways, the only news.
Hold on, sorry, I got to interrupt you again.
Go ahead.
The following is rated TV MALSV. It contains strong language, violence, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences. Viewer discretion advised.
Sorry, had to get out of the way.
I'm glad you got that out.
Formality here
Now
on
I
YouTube.
picture the
Go ahead,
opening
Doc.
that's
It's
always
So
awesome.
they had a
in
contest,
Philadelphia.
and
Having
the
new stuff going on.
first place in this contest was 2 tickets to Las Vegas Dynamite. So my friend Jason Marchuka, who was with me in
Shout out to
Vegas,
That Wrestling Podcast.
yeah, shout out to That Wrestling Podcast, literally looks over at me and goes, "If we win these, we're gonna make a lot of money." I started laughing. I was like, I doubt we win. So we circled them, and then I ended up getting second place. And you could pick from. There was 2 of us that actually tied for second place. So the one guy went first. He picked the Undertaker Elite or Ultimate figure, and then what was left was a sheet of figure from AEW, and of course this guy right here, my American hero, your American hero, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania's own Kurt Angle. And I figured
Just like him.
since Britt won, why not pick Pittsburgh's own? Plus, from being from the area, so it was a really, really great experience. So if you guys are down in Vegas, definitely check out the Nerd Bar.
So
All right, I'm done.
my question is, did you shout out the WrestleSense podcast? That's what you're
Yes.
supposed to be doing out in Vegas.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. And hopefully some Vegas faithful that were there are going to be
that's what I
following
like
the
to
podcast.
see. Clap back. That's what
Yeah.
you do.
Hell
You
yeah,
give
who
them back.
put that? That's
Give them
great.
back.
Wow.
Oh, yes.
You have to see
That's
see a
amazing.
stupid
Yes.
reaction.
And the rep is a great guy.
Drewsy's in the
Why do
building.
you have
Good
your
to see you,
shirt
Drewsy.
off?
Welcome, Drewsy.
The naked thing, I thought the thing was naked all the time.
He's trying to follow my. We don't want to
What
see that.
the-
Come on.
Anyways.
All right.
So we had Don Callis come out. They teased Omega's return with his music.
Yeah.
And here comes Don Callis. It was
I
pretty clever.
clapped for it. Yeah.
I dug it. I thought, why would they bring out Omega now? He could have showed up in the main event. He should have showed up, but it was a nice little swerve. And of course, Gold on the mic. I love him on the mic.
Oh, dude,
He can rock it. As we continue, we got Hook and QT Marshall, which was pretty much what everyone expected. We all picked Hook to win, and
Hook
rightfully
smashed
so.
him. Hook smashed him.
Anyone have any tidbits for this one at all? Not really.
I know Easy E will disagree with me, but mark my words, Hook is going to be a big thing.
I think he's going to be huge.
I'm waiting for
I love
Easy
him.
to,
Always, yeah, come on, E.
complain
Where's your
about
rebuttal?
something.
Where's your skepticism?
I actually don't mind Hook.
Oh my
Oh,
God!
you're
Yeah.
a hooker.
Wow.
You got him just walking away after the win, not giving 2 shits, which is
and
a
his
pretty,
theme is a banger.
yeah, it is a banger, and his persona it's dope. It's over as hell right now.
It's
So
that guy's
believable.
good luck to the kid, man. Ride that wave, dude. Ride that wave.
Absolutely.
It doesn't seem like they're shoving him down our throat either, which I
No,
like.
no.
They could have easily went every show, Hook, because he was so popular, but just having him, like, I think that was his first
do that.
Dynamite
They
last
got
week.
900 wrestlers. They can't put everybody on every show. They book everybody.
All right, Eric Kahn, we know that you do much better job. You're judging the guy as it just happened. Let's go. We go through this every week. It's all good. House of Black versus Penta Obscuro, little Penta Dark. Eric Redbeard making his return, which I really would have saw. I wish Ray Phoenix would have been in this match. Ray's one of my favorites, and to see him come, it's a nice little substitute to bring Redbeard in.
Yeah,
I was waiting
I
for
don't mind
Redbeard to
him.
cross sides. I was waiting for him to join the House of Black or something.
Yeah.
But it didn't really come to fruition. And I'm not really minding the 6-man matches. They're pulling them off pretty well. I'm digging them.
But like we've talked about prior, they got to do a trios tag team title.
I think now with the stuff going on with the Bucks and that, I mean, trios titles.
Shane Taylor,
If I can step into this real quick, I like the trios and I have my reasons, but they shouldn't do a title. Because the title says that you're one of the best in the world at whatever that particular category of wrestling is. You can't do that unless you face Shane Taylor Promotions. Now, when we look at the track record of it, my boys of STP, even when we go back to the Ring of Honor World 6-man tag titles, have held the titles longer than the Young Bucks. I think they're one of the best, and not taking anything away from them. They are talented. I'm saying my guys are more talented. So therefore, if they want to do it, absolutely. But now that we have this door and now there's a partnership, Tony Khan is the new owner of Ring of Honor, and things can happen now. You got one person. You got I forgot is it Donna Peraza that's the Ring of Honor Women's Champion, but she's also on Impact. Yeah. But however, if Tony Khan runs Ring of Honor now, does that technically now make a 3-company revolving door?
It would be nice. And then
therefore, I'm going to throw Shane Taylor Promotions into the bucket, and I'm going to request that graphic to be made later down the road, and there will be some titles on the line.
Well, that's what we talked about too. The fact that now that Tony owns ROH, depending on how he uses it, his companies already have a 6-man championship. So why not resurrect? That's one way to test it. Is just if he's going to bring back ROH, he's already scheduled to do some shows here soon. I'm waiting for April 1st to find out how that's going to evolve. But he could easily just test out the waters with the trios over there, since they already have an established history with the trios titles there. Who knows? I mean, there's so many great 6-man teams you could think about in AEW right now, as well as, like you're saying, Impact and ROH. Kingston and Jericho came up next. One of the 3 singles matches that I really waited for that were war of words leading up to the show. And I think they put on a banger.
What are you doing?
I would say, my general consensus ever. Oh my God! For the whole show was, it was a great show. I'm not trying to take anything away from the show, but I maybe I put my expectations up a little too big or whatever. But
I really enjoyed it. I don't know.
I'm not saying I didn't like it.
Exceeded my expectations, and I'm not surprised by that with the 2 people that were involved. Like Rev can tell you, but I've known Eddie for many, many years, and he's one of the hardest working people prior to him going to AEW that was unsigned.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But did you like the ending? The ending killed the whole match.
I disagree.
Now, why? Because he didn't shake his hand?
No, because the finishing move sucked, and the ref was holding his hand the whole time.
He stretched the shit out of him. I don't get why it was such a bad thing.
Plum.
Yeah, that moves. You don't see that move like awesome. And what the thing was, Eddie used an old school move against him, which was kind of like it made that storytelling a little bit more like, look, Chris, I beat you, and I beat you with an old school submission move. It was kind of like
made him tap out nonetheless.
Yeah, he
brought it out on a live stream that you hated it. I mean, maybe you went back and liked it, but I thought it was a terrible ending. I thought what happened on Dynamite was the right move because the ending was so bad on Revolution.
The fact that him not shaking his hand there and carrying the story over to Dynamite, I had no problem with that. Yeah. I like the fact that he said, "No, I ain't shaking your hand now." After I said I would, that's a Jericho heel thing to do. And as much as I'm a huge Jericho fan,
I think that was a little predictable last night. But
and then that's led to this.
See, I didn't think these three would be the new with him. No, I never thought that.
No, but
I thought it was a good move. I thought it was a real good move.
Do you think the Inner Circle ran its course, guys?
Yes. I think the Inner Circle was done over with, which Excalibur slipped up a little bit last night about Sammy Guevara's vest, saying it was an Inner Circle vest when it wasn't, but he corrected himself.
Well, that's what I said about I said that about Pride and Powerful last week, that I thought maybe I want to see them get the world title soon enough. And maybe now that they're away from Jericho, they got a better shot at it.
Jericho, whatever he did 3 weeks ago, he was fatter than hell.
Now he looks great. I don't know how.
Well,
you
a
know,
little pro wrestling magic.
Unbelievable.
Let's say rats give you good exercise. No,
he's
like
got a
got a-
good doctor, and it's
He
not
can press a
Vader.
button and bring his six-pack back.
Well,
Good luck with
listen,
that.
you know, we hear it on the news when you drive your car, but there's some others that are along the same name. And
Prices are high, but not for Jericho.
hey, whatever it is, get me some, man. I gotta get rid of this gut.
For me, it was tough to pick a match of the night, but
This
very
was it.
close. I would
No
say
question.
this
No
one.
question.
Close to me.
In
I do
my
say this was
opinion.
the match of the night. Great.
Yes.
Not too many spots, but good spots, and it kind of panned out how we all thought it would, except for Eazy-E, I think.
We knew it was going to be flippy, but my
Yes.
point, and you guys could disagree with me, I think that there was still a lot of psychology behind it for it to make sense.
True.
Like Jungle Boy going to get the tag and getting pulled off the apron and whatnot.
Yeah. Doc,
Good match.
I loved
thoughts
it.
on this one?
I liked it. I mean, there's no end just buts about it. It was really good storytelling.
And
I
I'm
love
happy
a
that
match
they
with
let
storytelling in it. I always
Jungle Boy-
have.
Now,
And they
that's
gave
the-
Jungle. Then they gave
other
Jungle
one-
Boy the pin. I'll take
I'm
that.
happy that they kept the titles. That's all I was
Yeah.
going to say. Yeah.
Those are some fat J's. That's a great picture. We were calling that out on
Yeah,
the,
we were talking about the Jays when they first came out because I'm always looking at their Jordans because I'm a big shoe sneaker freak, and I was like, "What Jays are there?" We're like, "Those aren't. No, they're not. I don't." But
they're customs.
They're
And they
great.
came out and said they're customs.
They are. They're dope. I love them.
Of course they're customs. They're the young
No,
guys.
come on. He called out for wearing the Dior's that were faker than hell, and you could tell they were.
Yeah, well,
That was a good move.
the ladder match had some wild spots,
It did.
specifically
It did.
when the two
Yeah.
losses were holding up the ladder and Cassidy skinned a cat to get
Yes,
up on top.
that was cool.
That was very
as
clever.
hell.
Very, very cool little spot.
And Starks taking that power bomb at the end
Yep.
was brutal.
Woo!
I'll tell you
I
who's
still
not
wait
taking
for
that
Sonic
bomb.
the Hedgehog to
This
run out and
guy.
take the damn ring off of him. That's
I
a
agree
beautiful
with
shape.
you, Blaze.
I look like one of them Cheerios you sit on when you have hemorrhoids.
yeah.
I like the basis of the
You
face
should've, like,
of
put
the
it around his neck or
revolution,
something.
but come up with some different thing for them to grab from
Yeah,
the
except
ladder.
the brass
Yeah, I don't
ring.
know about the huge cock ring that they got going on.
Oh,
over there.
Jesus.
I think
Jesus, you went there. You went there.
Jeez.
what we're not
I know, right?
talking about is when all three of the big men were actually in the ring, and you saw the power of all three men. Like,
Oh, yeah.
There was actually a point where I think all six were on the ladder at once, on each side, and two on
Yeah,
the
it was
on the
insane.
ends
Yeah.
as well.
I love that.
I think
There-
it was very well done, and I think a lot of that thanks needs to go to Christian probably.
Good. Yeah, he's got a
Yeah.
connection to that match. I'm sure if he had to say, he helped them out. Okay, Jay Cargill and Ty Conti. We all picked Cargill. The big news was
I
here.
know,
to me.
right? Me
This
too.
is the-
Me
this is
too.
The big news of the match.
I'd
is
be
right
like-
there.
I'd be like,
I-
oops. No, I'm joking.
I think everyone forgot about the rest of the match.
Yep.
I agree.
yeah.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, since that happened, I was in a live chat watching it too while we were doing it. Everyone's talking about the kiss.
She
But
was
I
just
like-
showing her who's that bitch.
I like how Jade is playing with it, like how she did last night, like the kiss of death. Who's going to be the next one? So I'm
Yep.
cool with
Her
it.
character's starting to develop, man.
Yeah.
I dig it. And a lot of people said she was too green to have that title yet. She's trying to prove people
I
wrong.
mean, I'm
trying to
not
prove
them wrong.
disagreeing with it, but she's making the best.
At
out
least
of
it
I
doesn't
think.
look like
This
the
is-
Haas title no
This
more.
is
They fixed
something
the
I
T
want
on
to
it.
point out about this match. You know,
Go ahead.
and I'm glad you brought up the green thing. A lot of people are giving Jade a lot of shit, saying she's too green. She's this. She sucks. She's this. She's that. I'm going to say this. Do you think the Mortal Kombat Jade outfit with the green hair and the green this,
yeah.
do you think it was a fuck you to everybody out there, to
Yeah.
her critics?
I think, yeah.
Hands down.
Could be.
And
very
I mean,
much so.
there's no lies saying that she's green, but I think she's improving, and that's
I think
what
she
she
is
should
too.
be doing.
I would say
Bryan
I would
Danielson's doing a great
challenge-
job with her. Sorry.
I would say I would challenge anyone whatsoever. For those that are saying this, and some of you guys might be wrestlers, I challenge you to get through one of your 5-minute matches in front of 25 people without huffing and puffing and getting
Right,
lost in your
no doubt.
match.
Good
Very
point.
good.
Great point.
And then take the amount of the amount of time that she has underneath her belt, put you in front of thousands of people, give you a national TV strap, and then go out there and then go through full matches and pay-per-views and still hold your composure. I
Right.
guarantee you wouldn't be saying that same thing. I
No,
think she's doing quite well for her years. Can she get better? Absolutely. It'll come with
Yeah.
time. But I feel like in general, just as CJ was saying, a couple of you guys said, she's growing into it.
Yeah.
This type of stuff just comes with time, and I think we've all been seeing her grow each and every week at the national level.
Yeah, and then you're going to be able to look back and say, man, look how she has gotten better pretty much every time she steps in the ring.
Yeah, then you're going to be bitter that she didn't kiss you. Yeah,
and she's got the look, and then that led to another champion last night. As we now have,
I am all about this.
Please just put one of the belts away, though. We only need one.
I agree. We don't need
now.
Both belts.
Scorpio needs to, finally get it to one belt. But I'm so glad they put the belt on him.
But is he going to drop it next Wednesday to Wardlow?
That's a great question because he's right next in line.
Or is MJF going to screw Wardlow?
That's what's going to happen.
That seems more than likely. I mean, do you want to take it off of Scorpio as soon as he had it? I mean,
I love Wardlow, and that's my boy. And I think his time is coming, but personally, I don't think you take it off of Scorpio Sky already.
Yeah,
no.
Especially the way the American top team is and everything like that.
I would say maybe the ideal for me would be I think Scorpio needs to hold it for a while. I don't see unfortunately Wardlow winning it because the way that they're building him right now, he is now at the point where he can now keep climbing. And I think if you take it just like that, it's going to drop him back down just in regards to reaction. I would say ideal if they wanted that tension to still happen between MJF and Wardlow. What I would do is MJF tries to get involved. Wardlow's like, no, I'm going to do this on my own. That builds him even more like, we like this guy. He stands his own ground. He's like, screw you, dude. Something happens. MJF ends up screwing Wardlow. Scorpio's like, what the hell? MJF ends up screwing him. And MJF does the whole drag over. Scorpio still keeps it, but it's a crappy job, and that keeps the tension between. And that would be my ideal.
I like that. And
that would be my ideal.
Looking strong.
Yep.
What we're not talking about is the comment that Jade made, and it was a big slap to WWE, and it was like, look, we have 3 champs that are African American. Now what? Because the big kick was WWE doesn't put a belt on a black guy or a black girl, or if it is, it's a short run.
And it wasn't during WrestleMania month, or not. It wasn't during Black History Month to get the ratings up.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, no, I'm.
I need to be Scorpio.
I missed that comment, but good for her.
See, I was looking back to see if he's had any other big singles titles, and he's had like ROH tag and 6-man All Elite tag.
Scorpio is very
singles. Big
Scorpio is very
championship, so he deserves it. He deserves
I was gonna say Scorpio Sky is very versatile, very very seasoned. If you think about it, he came out of Hollywood Championship Wrestling. If anybody's ever seen that on Fight, and I actually went to a taping in there when I was in LA. And I mean, like I said, the guy is worshipped out there in LA. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I'm really happy for him. I'm hoping they give him a big run.
He's already touched on this. I personally don't think he's underrated, but some people may, and I promise you he's going to prove everybody that feels that way that they're wrong.
Well, that's my point. He deserves that shot. 2002 is when he started, so he's been wrestling for 20 years.
But they got to give him a run. If not, it's underrated. You know what I mean?
It seems like the Wardlow screw job for MJF is like the inevitable, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah. Now that led to this during the match, Ty Conti earlier and Paige Vanzant, and now
those are the two who need to be kissing.
Like in those two kiss too. And then we had a sign on your dupa, sign it right on her butt cheeks here. I was waiting for her to stab the butt with the pen.
Rev, can I do that when we go to Pit Fight? Can I sign my contract? No,
on my butt.
On your dupa, yeah, we'll just do like that.
No, I don't.
I'll have people call
preach that. All right, I'm just fine.
Dupa's a big word on the channel here. We love the word dupa. So Paige Vanzant, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not a big UFC, but she was in UFC, but she never really fought a lot, right? Or she was like mid card, low card, or something when she was there.
But she was the oh my god, Paige Vanzant is fighting. Like it was.
She's got the look. She's got a look. She's definitely
got her ass.
You got to look right.
But I mean,
check the Instagram.
But what is she like in the ring? We haven't seen her in the ring yet, so hopefully she has to be doing something good to be getting.
She never wears clothes.
Up to do something now. Not wearing clothes is definitely a plus.
She's wearing down, Doc, down.
And then we talked about the old picture of these two before they fight. They brought it up in the angle and everything. These two, definitely another war of words, if you will, leading up to this one in a dog collar match. And I like the brutality, but I thought it was a little too much blood. We talked about that on the podcast, and me and Easy.
I think someone took too much Tylenol before the match.
I think in general, the whole show as a whole had too much blood.
Yeah.
I'm okay with the amount it had during this match, personally.
Well, this is the one that should have been the bloodbath.
I think some of the other matches, this one is what really needed it. And if that was me putting it together, rather, some things were done intentionally or unintentionally, I would say, hey, no blood. Other than that match, I think it kind of took away from it a little bit. But in general, with that match in general, I mean, I was satisfied with it, and as usual, great storytelling and everything.
And the payoff.
We've talked about
Blaze, hold on one second.
Doc, go ahead.
What I was gonna say is with this match right here, you have to look at the aspect of with the Piper and Valentine tribute. That was like pretty much the first dog collar match where they were a bloody mess. And then if you look at Raven and CM Punk's fight in ROH, it was a bloody mess. So, you had a lot of shout outs and tributes to the dog collar match as a whole with these two. I thought it was really cool how they did that, but threw that in there.
Bringing back unique matches like that every once in a while is what I really love about what they're kind of doing here.
Did you notice that MJF wore the new toy line coat that night? It's like, oh my God, he's wearing the toy line.
Now, we talked about this face turn or whatever by Wardlow for so long. Now, I'm just playing devil's advocate here because we knew it was coming. Was it underwhelming? I mean, there wasn't a big I beat up MJF turn. It was just here's the ring. I missed it, and here you go.
I'm okay with it because of what I feel it's going to lead to.
Okay, so there's more to the story to make it even more
There's got to
be.
There's got to be.
Because we've been waiting. We talk about it every week. Is this the week Wardlow turns around, just knocks out MJF or something, or where the crowd goes nuts? We didn't get a big crowd goes nuts when he turned moment.
Yeah, I was one of the ones that said that they missed a bullet on it, but I think it's going to end up all right.
Like we said, if it does lead to the screw job on his shot at a singles title, I really think they should still do when he finally is off, like contract on a pole, whatever, MJF, because he's kind of holding him down to that contract thing.
Holding him hostage.
That when he finally gets out of that we finally see the graphic that Wardlow is all elite, even though he has been kind of play along with that angle. But another shot of the ring and Punk with all the blood. And now here's my other question, because of what happens in the main event. Is Punk now next in line for a world title shot, you guys?
God, I hope not.
Absolutely not.
Okay, just throwing it out there because he's coming in off a win.
Right, but I think like we talked about in the past that him wanting to come back was to help out the younger talent, and I think that's what he's going to continue to do.
Now, he brought it up in the post-media scrum, which if you guys aren't watching those, they are fantastic.
Yes, they are.
I remember like how I don't understand a lot of it, what they're saying in New Japan when they have those little interviews afterwards. They do tons of them. And the post-media scrums for AEW are fucking brilliant. I mean, it's just like those dudes hanging out, talking to each other and doing real-life interviews afterwards, not scripted, not just talking about the business and what they're doing. They are fantastic. Yeah. I really think those are worth a watch. But like MJF was lined up possibly to be maybe next in line, so that's why I'm saying
that could still be the case.
Would it be Punk? But after losing the Punk, who knows?
By the end of the year, I mean, I really do. He's the hottest thing that they have right now.
But taking a loss there, it should be a little bit of a setback, or maybe that's not over between those two yet. Who knows? I talked about that last couple of weeks too. How there's so many questions. What's going to happen? Who's going to go here? Who's going to do that? And that's what makes wrestling good to me.
And like you said, Blaze, I like that it's kind of being kept open ended, so you don't know where it's going to go, and that's the whole joy about being a wrestling fan, man.
Yeah, I don't want to know everything that's fucking happening.
Right.
We'll get to a surprise here soon because there was a surprise that we got someone arriving. But this one, we all thought it was Thunder Rosa's time.
I really did.
Me too.
I think it was just delayed to this coming Wednesday.
To the San Antonio one. Yeah. So she had to lose, earn it back, and then because Thunder Rosa won the first one, the lights out match between those two, right? But Britt claims to get the victory because it got her stardom going from the blood mess and the t-shirt and everything. So this was like match 2. So now we lead to the rubber match. So it kind of makes sense in San Antonio. So does the Thunder take it in San Antonio, you guys? What do you think?
I think so.
I think she does too.
It is pointing toward. We thought that for this match.
Well, isn't Thunder Rosa from? I mean,
that's her hometown.
Yeah,
so
why not?
The only thing I didn't agree with booking wise is it makes sense, but she lost the Brit at the pay-per-view. Now she's already got another shot at it. But the way they did it with the Eliminator with Layla, that's fine.
When they brought out the new belt, you knew Britt Baker was winning. period.
Pretty much, that's what we thought too when we were watching. Me and E were saying that belt is dope too. I really like it. It looks like the old Southern title, I believe it. It looks
it's
like
a lot better than that tiny one that they used to use. Yeah.
Well, as soon as Jade starts throwing her belt around, realizing it looks a lot bigger and more impactful than the world title, I'm glad they made the change.
Mm-hmm.
I like the old school little round one that she had, but it just didn't look.
It just didn't feel it.
To one of the fans in the chat, Jake, stop already, man. We know you don't like Baker.
That's why I
Jake's
didn't even
a Brit hater.
Acknowledge him.
We
He's
went
an
through this
everything
last
hater. He said Brit's the most boring thing ever.
Come to Pittsburgh and say that, bitch.
Oh yeah, you probably wouldn't survive.
Yeah.
I told you. Now I gotta go back. Bad quality pictures once again.
He also said MJF sucks, and he has no clue what the hell he's talking about.
Moxley and Danielson. Myself, Doc, Ray, and CJ picked Danielson, but we got a Moxley win.
And I'm okay with that.
It was a cool win too. How he did it. How he kind of outsmarted him. He didn't really like pound it, beat the shit out of him or.
It was a very hard hitting match.
Yeah, they beat the shit out of each other. But this right here,
surprise that we got
this right here.
I tripped. I was like, holy shit, it's Regal.
Yeah.
And we talked about this not too long ago. We talked about when the ROH buyout. We're like, hey, what if Regal and Samoa Joe get to go help run ROH for Tony Khan or something? That would have been nice. But to see him injected into this because of his history of both these guys, damn, it just. And then to see them tag the other night.
What was hilarious is when he slapped the McShit out of both of them, the blood fell on his face. He hit him so hard.
If you watched, Regal put his head into Moxley so he would get blood on himself.
Yeah, now he said he's 50-something. Do you think Regal can still fight, guys?
I guarantee you he can.
You know, they moved him from coaches to active roster on the website, too.
Oh, really?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. My God, I would love to see him walk in that ring one more time.
Do you want to know why they moved him?
Go ahead.
Because he's a man. There you go. I had to get the plug in here.
Yes, he is.
Thank you.
Worst
it's a shame he can't go War Games. Blood and Guts doesn't have the same ring to it if he says it. You know?
Oh my God.
Do
you know they ribbed him one night at WWE? They had what you call it, Daniel Bryan, or when he was Daniel Bryan, he had him play that theme music. He come out and it started his theme, and then it just changed it. He just looked back and he looked up at the ring and like, you dick.
I remember that vaguely.
Speaking of theme music, we didn't talk about it earlier, but CM Punk did not come out to Call to Personality.
No, he came out to
his old Ring of Honor music.
From punk band AFI, which first song. It's the first track off of Sing the Sorrow. I forget what it's called.
The people in the arena seem to notice it, and
they did.
My first thought was, oh shit, if you don't play one of the most popular entrance songs, but it
didn't need
worked.
to.
I was very surprised.
Didn't need to.
I like the throwback to the old ROH.
So that's Tornado Trios match, and at this point, and me and Easy were talking about it. We were like 4 hours into the show.
Right.
Like we were literally 4.5 into the show at this point, and we know we still had matches to go. But this one led to some more stories in the future, and we'll talk about both of that, what it turned out into. But the match itself saw the 62-year-old man once again diving off of, and I still think it's a big FU to WWE because he's showing them what he could have done over there if he was.
There's no question.
And that was 10, 15 years ago.
But but the reason he didn't do that is because Seth Rollins threw him through the damn ring.
That you get hurt, you get hurt.
Yeah, thanks.
But I mean, this was something else, and I'm a big Sting mark to see him still do it. I just want as much as he can until we can't no more.
I was awesome. I popped when he jumped. I popped in the middle of the nerd bar.
My problem with it was
he's 62.
Hold on a second. Let me lay down on the table for you. That's the bad part. It was like, hold on, guys. Let me get comfy. Like he could have rolled right the fuck off, you know.
Yeah, I mean, the match was fine, but I think for me it was a little too all over the place. But that's what you expect with a match like that.
The tornado tag instead of a regular 6-man tag. Yeah, you do expect a little more chaos and carnage, and they took it to the streets, and there you have it. You have your winners, Sting and Darby, and it led to him with Guevara. I mean, I don't know. This one didn't even need to be on the show, to my opinion, but it did lead to what happened last night.
Yeah,
and last night everyone pretty much expected it. The funny part about this was your brother's getting choked out, but you got to stop to make sure you do your dance on the ramp for 1 second. It's so funny. If you rewatch it now, you'll see it. He runs and he realizes, oh shit, I gotta do my dance real quick.
The thing that shocked me the most about that is how did he use that music? I mean,
he must have got the rights. Yeah, when I heard the music, I was like, what's he coming out to?
Yeah.
They said they bought the rights to 25 old WWE theme songs.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Whenever I heard that, I'm like, wait a minute. How the heck is he using that
listening.
WWE music?
Oh, man.
I was listening for the music, and when I heard that, I thought, how in the hell? Because that's not...
Yeah,
unless I thought he
on
wrote it,
too.
because, Hardy makes music, so I don't know if he wrote that or something back in the day. But there they are, and like I said before, we don't need them every week. We don't need them every show, but the dream matches that can happen in there, and even in ROH as well.
I definitely see a Hardy Young Buck remake in the future.
Oh,
I would love to see that.
Yeah.
Love to see that.
There's so many. I could sit here proud and powerful. I could just name like 10. I just want to see a tag team gauntlet over the next year with them once a month fighting a different tag team.
Yeah.
I think when if the Briscoes come, that'd be
Briscoes. Have they fought the Briscoes?
I don't know that one.
There might have been a dabble.
If they did, it had to be in ROH.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It would be in ROH. Hardy Boys, what's this? Statman normally has some good info. Hardy Boys theme was used long before WWE back in the day for a commercial. There you go.
Oh, okay.
See Hardy and Keith Lee. There you go. Hardy's versus Lucha. Not yet, Joker. But they got the title.
Yet, but I would be down with that.
Cassie, no, I do not want to do Jeff's dance again. No, thank you. I don't mind embarrassing myself, making a fool of myself. That's what I do here. So here's the picture we harken back to our main event.
Briscoes in 2014.
There you go, Googler. Okay. Good job, Googler. So we saw the younger Paige, Adam here from back in the day.
They both look like two completely different people.
And then we go to Sunday, the main event, and what most of us said that the fact, except for CJ Ray and Eazy-E, thought Adam Cole were going to take the title, which it could have gone either way, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the story was written to go either way, but now Paige getting the victory, still your world champion right now. Any thoughts on the match, the main event, guys?
I think, like you guys have heard me say the past several weeks, how underwhelming of a title reign I feel like this has been for Hangman.
Yeah.
So him winning that match, I think, is the right choice, and I'm going to eat my own words.
Yeah.
So
I'm really hoping to see right now how far they actually take Paige. I mean, you think about Paige has starting to have a confliction with the Dark Order. Adam Cole is actually getting a rematch, or he could be getting a rematch. That's right, because there's a 6-man tag.
Yep.
So some way or another, you're going to see Cole Paige part 2. So
for sure.
What happens then, guys? Do we see a title change? Do we not see a title change? Like, that's what I like. It keeps you kind of keeps the fan base going. It kind of keeps them wondering. A mystery, a riddle. What's next?
So speaking of what's next, let's talk about that. So say Cole gets his next shot, and let's take Cole out of the picture, out of everyone else back in AEW. Who would you put next in line for the World Championship? Doc, I'm going to put you on the spot first.
You put me on the spot first?
Because I know you hate it. That's why I put you on the spot first.
I know.
Who would you push next for the world title? Say Cole gets his shot and loses. His second shot and loses.
You're going to hate what I have to say.
No, good.
Cool. MJF.
I knew he was going to say it.
Yeah.
MJF.
I mean,
I disagree with it, even with the loss.
Because if you think about it, he lost that dog collar match to CM Punk, but you still beat CM Punk in Chicago. So he can still use that to his advantage. He can say, so what? I lost one. It doesn't matter. I'm coming for you now. And he can, oh my God, just the promos alone will be great.
You got to throw Wardlow's name in that mix too, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of tied up in the TNT thing right now, but if the MJF thing happens, that could spin him in a different direction, and because he's had a ton of victories. What do you think, Rev? Anybody who sticks out?
I would say MJF definitely has to be at the top of that. But just like you said, I think probably the next in line would be in some way, shape, or form. What I would probably do, MJF maybe have a focus on it. Eventually, maybe just him and Wardlow. They have a good little back and forth. Then eventually, that we're pushing a little bit long term. But eventually, it'll be whenever they feel like Hangman Page's time is done. Wardlow versus MJF for the title.
Mm-hmm.
Now Omega comes back. Does he get inserted right into that? I mean, I think he's kind of stuck with the feud.
I don't think he should.
No, I don't think he should either. That's just a question I'm throwing out there. So now Eazy-E, which WWE wrestlers coming over to fight Hangman Page?
No, I was actually going. You killed me. I was going to say Omega. I think Omega is your guy to go in and challenge Hangman.
He has the history, and if he comes back, good point.
I think you have a triple threat with Cole, Hangman, and Omega next. I think
have they done a triple threat for the AEW World Title yet? I don't think so. It's just been singles, right? I can't remember a triple threat for it yet. So, they don't use the matches like that overkill. So
I actually got to agree with Easy on this one. I like that a lot, actually.
Yeah, I don't mind it either. I don't mind it either because, those are the
now think about it. You have three guys that were in the Elite. You have the Young Bucks and the Red Dragons. So you have a huge storyline built right there.
Yeah, true. Very true. It's all entangled in with the title. So I said it earlier that the tag match was my favorite match of the night by a slim margin because I like those three singles. So CJ said the same thing. What about you, Easy? Did you have a favorite out of all of them? Or the worst? You can even pick the worst if you want. That's your mentality.
Jade and Ty Conti. I think that match, besides the kiss, I could have dealt without.
Yeah, when you're talking about a kiss after a match is the best part of the match, there's something wrong with the match. They need to do something more to overwhelm the kiss. Gotcha.
After the Sting match, I got off. I went to bed. I didn't even watch the main event, to be honest.
Good job, Grandpa.
So Pappy, you're saying your favorite match of the night was?
So my favorite match of the night had to be probably the CM Punk MJF. I actually didn't mind it.
Yeah.
I'm down for that. CJ said the same thing. Rev, do you have a favorite one of the night out of all of them?
Favorite CM Punk MJF. I'm right on the same lines right there.
That and the tag match definitely on top of the list, regardless. And for those out there is another Rev in our community, the Reverend Cupid TRC, who's part of our community as well. So don't get it twisted. This is a different Rev. The other Rev is part of what's called the Wrestle Buddy podcast here. So big shout out to Wrestle Buddy podcast, TRC, and those guys over there doing some great work too. But this is the new Rev for the WrestleSense Rev here. And man, I appreciate you coming on, Rev. It's been a learning experience for me too, because I wanted to make sure I learned some stuff too. We talked about Revolution.
Hey, thanks. I don't have to give my favorite matches though. It's all good.
No, I always like to leave CJ out.
Yeah, so he
says, "What am I, a piece of shit?" So now you're the piece of shit tonight, Doc.
Well,
all right, Doc.
See if I ever get any of my friends on this show again.
Oh,
see how that works.
Hey, Blaze. Hey, Blaze. Don't worry. I know people too.
Around, dickhead. Yeah, I'm gonna get you from the side, Doc. All right, which one was your favorite one? Doc,
ain't nobody getting me from the side.
What was your favorite match, Doc? I need to know now. You can't leave it hanging.
CM Punk and MJF, and I'd have to say a tie because I really loved the trios match with the House of Black.
Yeah,
I thought that was. I love that match, man. I had the stuff they were doing. Oh my god! To
me, that could have been a Rampage or a Dynamite fight. Just so the show wasn't 5 fucking hours. I mean, we had a 5-hour.
I liked it.
But if it's their WrestleMania and they want to have it 5 hours, I guess it could have been a little shorter, in my opinion.
I'd call that match. No.
I dug it. So that's about it. I mean, I don't have anything more. We talked a lot. We learned a shit ton about the Rev Ron Hunt. Make sure you guys check him out. He went over his social media. His Twitter handle is in the links to the description of the show at the Rev Ron Hunt on social media. Right here in southwestern Pennsylvania. Got big things coming for him. Good, Doc. Spit it.
Absolutely.
We have some local events this Saturday. Unfortunately, with Eclipse Wrestling being canceled, there also is a show in Uniontown, Pennsylvania. Rise will be running out of Uniontown Mall this weekend, so definitely check it out. Saturday, bell time, 7 o'clock. So definitely be there. The Iceman cometh. And that's what I mean. Tony Johnson will be taking on PB Smooth for that Rise Grand Championship. It's going to be a hell of a banger.
I may be chilling there just watching, but I might do a little something. But I'm just going to be there just to watch. I'm
just saying, I might need somebody for commentary.
Shit out of Reverend Ron Hunt.
This has never happened.
And I told him before the show we are just going to shoot this shit to have some fun. You fit right in with these wackos around here, Rev. I appreciate it.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
For you putting up and knowing Doc and CJ, man, I knew you had to have the attitude that we like to swing around here. We're very cut loose, man. We just like that.
There's new laws in Disney World because of the two right here. That's all I'm going to say.
So we'll have to wait till the next time the Rev Ron Hunt joins us for the Disney show, the Disney story. So stay tuned for more on that.
Let me plug coming up next Saturday, the 19th, IWC 21. 21 years of IWC should be a jam-packed card. Looking forward to being back in the ring my first show post shoulder
Yeah.
surgery. So yeah.
No more stranger for CJ. He's back.
RWA is running that night too.
Flying butts and dudes nuts.
It's all good.
Eric Kahn, does Eric Kahn have anything, any big announcements for tonight? You know, every night that Mr. Kahn has a big
I
announcement.
think Eric has a big announcement. You want to drop it?
Hold on, drum roll.
Can he blaze what we talked about earlier?
What's that?
Yeah, next week.
Yeah, next week.
Yeah, if you want to spread the news there, Eric, it's on you.
We may have a special guest, Brian Kiesel, who is wrestling in the Lancaster area, may be coming on with us. We'll get him on and see what happens and shoot the shit a little bit. But, the good things that are happening, you might see me at Rise Wrestling. I might come up to the Rev, might get a little smackety smack on Doc and Rev.
I might chop you and send the video so they can run it right at the beginning of the next episode.
Yes, please do.
Yes, I
Rev,
love it.
please smack the
I love
shit
it.
out of this guy.
You know
Yeah,
what? You
Rev,
know what?
my birthday's Monday, and that would be the best present in the world if you take
Hey,
out
listen,
Easy.
if I wasn't considering going to the show now, I think Easy just sold me on the show, so I might pull up around.
So, Rev, you're more than welcome to come back on the show and hang out with us
I
for any
appreciate that,
time,
buddy.
man. It's been
Thanks
a blast.
for the
Anytime
Thank
you can
you,
spread
Rev.
the word to
Appreciate
people
you.
you know as well. And if you know anybody else might be interested, come hanging out with us for a little bit. We're going to do this on just about every Thursday as we can, bringing you, try to talk some sense about wrestling. That's what we do around here. And we appreciate each and every one of you in the live chat for being a part of the show. Stay tuned for some LTD wrestling coming up right after we are done here. And next Thursday, we're going to rock it all once again. So see you in my streams, ladies and gentlemen. Peace. We are out of here.